Thank you, Ritika. Thank you, each one of you here, for being here on the 21st edition of BITB. And for me, especially, it's a very kind of a nostalgic moment because while we've done a lot of these conclaves in the last few years, it's our first one at the Radisson Blue in Delhi. And I'm recalling very fondly my initial interactions with Dr. Kapoor and the Unitech team, how Mr. K.B. Kachru is sitting in the front row, started putting the Radisson flag, which is now a good 211 hotels operational and in the pipeline. So, in fact, that's a very interesting and worthwhile point of takeoff for us to understand the growth in the hospitality industry. Just 25 years ago, this was the first hotel. It was an airport hotel, and there was no Aerocity. And even then, I remember, if I'm right, Mr. Kachru, if my memory serves me right, there was a year and a half or something like that where the approvals wouldn't come for something or the other. And ironically, again, when Aerocity came up, again there was the same stage happening where the approvals wouldn't come, and the window panes had to be reinforced because there was they were next to the runway. But interestingly enough, 10 years later, there's a highway going there, which is even closer to the runway. So while these window panes were posing a problem, this highway is not posing a problem. There anybody can go. So anyway, coming back to where we are and here for 21st edition, I know it's been a bit of a challenge today with all the rain. And I'm glad when I was asking Ashwini Goyla, the dynamic general manager of the hotel, and we were doing a round 3 weeks ago, and I was pushing him saying, Ashwini, why don't we do the evening cocktails on the poolside? Because the poolside at the Radisson is a different experience altogether. And he went on saying, sir, मेरे को लगता है बारिश हो जाएगी. अब मैंने कहा नहीं होगी, I'll speak to the gods. So I didn't, but he did. So, but that's what's happened today. So that evening we are going to do again when the rains are not going to be there. But a moment of rare momentum, unprecedented in the history of Indian hospitality. I have watched them over the last few decades, I wouldn't say 5. Exceptional profits with hotels. We have people like Achin Khanna who keeps a track of everybody's profits. So the hotel company like IHCL, till 3 years ago, 4 years ago, was having a negative balance. Now we have 3,000 crores in cash balance. So we should wait for them to announce some inorganic growth momentums, as I imagine. But the pipelines are very strong. They are almost bursting. And that's where the challenges arise. That the pipelines could burst. They're so strong. And imagine the kind of profits that we have. I just want to opine that I think those days when we asked for less taxes to be imposed on hotels, I think that's an era that's gone. With the kind of growth that we are seeing, I think all that we can look at perhaps is a rationalization of the GST. Maybe if we can benefit from that rationalization. And of course, as Mr. Kachru, again, I'll recite as president of HAI and other positions that he holds, the industry has been looking for the threshold for industry status to be reduced from the present 200 crores to something like 25 crores. That's the wish list. So if something like that happens, then you will have a further momentum happening in the industry. Today we have 36 speakers, 8 sessions offering a variety in formats, a virtual chat, a hard talk, panel discussions, one destination presentation on subjects that matter. Our speakers are decision makers. How many of them turn up is still a question, but we had 130 registrations as of last evening. So I'm sure they're all trickling in. Some of them have gone home to pick up their swimsuits so that they can navigate the rivers and reach us earlier. And I think something like that is going to happen. So I just want to say that Um, I had thought till even 3 years ago that hotels were ancillary to tourism. In my reckoning, hotels were service providers, amenity providers. But in the last 1 year, 2 years, I see hotels have become the actual momentum and the drivers of Indian tourism. Domestically, Aspas tourism has flourished in such a way, and it's the most economical way where six or eight can push themselves into a larger SUV and they can just get off to any hotel around. So, and they're going specifically not to a destination, but they're going specifically to a hotel A or B or C, which they've heard of as providing great experiences. If you see, I think anybody who's going to Goa these days, nobody is going to the church or to the old Goa. They're just confined to the hotels in the north, just having a good time. And for the first time, perhaps, away from sightseeing, away from so-called culture tourism, we have fun and frolic tourism happening, even for families, very positively, family bonding, all that is happening through tourism. And I find that hotels now are becoming essential components or constituents of the infrastructure of cities, I think. And somewhere now, I think the recognition for hotels as essential as hospitals, schools, whatever else it takes for an urban city to happen. So hotels are really integral now to that. And it's not just fun and games, but essential components. And I would imagine that this will grow exponentially in the months and times ahead. Hotels have a huge future ahead, and I think the I'll cut my story short, but the hope is during the deliberations today, while we share the kind of growth that you see, that you visualize, what are also the pitfalls and the obstacles that we are going to be facing, whether it's in HR, whether it's in sustainable profits or keeping on to new levels of requirements of sustainability as an industry. Having said that, thank you very much again, and we'll take this further. Just a little word of thanks again to Radisson Blue, Delhi Airport, for hosting us and being so generous and being so supportive. Thank you.